573% interest rate debt. What the is happening?
Sure, I had a 500% interest loan. Yes, you absolutely heard that correct.
Well, let's talk about payday loans and getting a mortgage. Lenders really do not like payday loans, so if you can, avoid them at all costs.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video here at Revolux Talk. Today's another one of those wild topics. I thought it was just appropriate really, and the topic is payday loans. Massive question. 573% interest on a loan. Does that sound like a loan to you? It doesn't to me. It just sounds like daylight robbery. Yet some people get caught into this trap thinking it's a small fix. It'll help them out in the short run, but silently it just destroys people's lives, and it's not great news. I've personally seen how this sort of thing affects people. I've seen it at work, as you know, I work in healthcare, and I've seen how it just destroys lives. It's definitely something you guys want to stay away from. So today we'll be reacting to some videos of some real people who have probably gone through it, and just to see how things really are. Let's break it down and take it from there. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe, and let's just get into it.
Why do we possibly have 573.57% interest rate debt? 573% interest rate debt. What the is happening?
That's one of our cash advances.
It's not a cash advance. No, this is a payday loan. That's not
Did she say cash advance? That was definitely not a cash advance.
a cash advance.
Or payday loan.
Yeah,
Once
no,
again,
there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. A cash advance is that you get your little paycheck early and then you have to pay it off. And I said sometimes those
You bet there's a difference. You bet there's a difference.
can be a tool, sometimes abused. A lot of people get in a situation. There is no tool at a 573% interest rate. There is no tool. That's not a tool. That's a fucking nuke. What are you talking about? You're taking out payday loans and you think they're pay advances?
I don't know the difference. I don't know a lot about finances. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying.
Google can exist, and it would tell you this is bad. We'll send you through our educational programs, and they're good. Instead of having to search for everything, we give you all what you need.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, 573% interest on a loan. That's not a loan, is it? It's like asking for a glass of water at a restaurant and then billing you for a swimming pool. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I guess you could hear the panic in her voice. She didn't quite understand much about what was going on. She seemed quite confused. But I'm sorry, you know, you're a grown adult. You know, you've got to know the difference between a cash advance and a payday loan. It's absolutely insane what people will agree to pay. If we read some of the comments here, I prefer this over reality TV. Septum ring theory wins again. She's far from trying. She hurts my brain. Yeah. Insane.
We have your average poverty pimp payday loan operation. Bloodsuckers of the community and lenders of last resort. I truly hope that you never have to go in a place like this, because when you do, it means that you are out of options. It means that you have a low income, you're not able to pay your basic living expenses, which is what most of these loans are used for. It means that you have terrible credit. Maybe you've maxed out a bunch of credit cards already.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair to her, that's exactly what happens. It is sort of a last chance saloon for most people, isn't it?
But worst of all, it means that you have no one to help you get by with just a few $100s, because the average loan that's taken out from these places is for $375 with $520 of fees. And if you're like, that math is not mathing, you're right. Because these places are set up to be a trap. They're set up so that you keep handing over your paycheck every 2 weeks. 391% interest rate is the nationwide average. And the reason I bring this up is because I want to talk about the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, which is run by the United Nations, because in many ways it's very similar to a place like this. Poor countries go to the IMF because they are desperate. They are in debt. and they have no other options. But instead of 391% interest rate, the IMF loans come with conditions. Conditions like serious structural reforms of the economy that have been proven over long-term studies to lead to increased poverty.
Wow, a bit of a deep one there, wasn't it? She's quite angry. Don't blame her. You know, at the end of the day, these companies, they are like bloodsuckers, aren't they? They will bleed you dry. But that example there, $375 with $520 worth of fees. I mean, you've got to be desperate to accept anything like that. Handing money into them on a weekly basis, throwing in your hard earnings away like that is crazy. But I guess people are pushed to a corner when they decide to take out a payday loan. Quite clever of her to just sort of like make the analogy between the IMF and payday lenders. So let's have a quick look at some of the comments on this video. So we've got things like, and yet no politicians will touch these places. That tells us something. That is the strong independent woman store. Catch-22, since the chance of default is high, the payday loan place will go out of business if offered at lower rates. Fair enough, but at the end of the day, maybe they shouldn't exist. I support this message and know it to be true. Factual 100%.
Sure, I had a 500% interest loan. Yes, you absolutely heard that correct. I actually had more than that. I had probably 3 or 4. I'd have to go back and look, but I think that my minimum payments were around $1,500 to $2,000 a month. I had a deficit. But I gotta say, the craziest thing is nobody talks about how to get out of a payday loan cycle. It's shameful. I get it. I felt shame of having these as well. Nobody talks about it. Everybody feels alone. So I chose to take one for the team, I guess. I cannot tell you how hard it is, even when you have the income that I have. I make well over 6 figures. It took me almost...
What? She makes well over 6 figures and she's taking out a payday loan. That is insane.
a whole year to get out of that payday loan cycle. That's insane. I feel like mostly these companies actually prey on people that are in desperate situations and they are desperate to get money. And it's terrible because then you end up in this horrible cycle with these insane interest rates and then you just keep having to get them. I've seen some people talk about you borrow less every single time and eventually you don't have any payday loans.
Wow, I don't know what to say. It's incredible. First of all, she's on a 6-figure salary. That's crazy. I guess payday loans can affect everybody, you know, regardless of how much money you make. If you find yourself really stuck any particular day of the week, you know, everyone will consider a payday loan. The fact that she's paying around $1,500 to $2,000 a month just to stay afloat is crazy. I mean, that's just paying off a payday loan. I can't believe it, but you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, people stress in silence. So let's take a look at some of these comments then. I need your job. Of course you do. She's on a 6-figure salary. What do you do as a job? People are just way more interested in what she does as a job. Thank you. I am severely struggling with these loans. I don't even know what to do. Yeah.
Borrow money like it is a full-time job. When we're not getting calls at dispatch, are we going to mylife.com and taking out 1,000,000% loans on a daily basis?
Pretty much, yeah.
So obviously we took out a payday loan. Okay, so guess what? Amounts financed $1,400. You borrowed $1,500, but paying this off, you're gonna pay a total of $2,903. $2,900.
What? That's like more than double, isn't it?
$903. What did you possibly borrow $100 or $1,400 for?
It was to consolidate the other payday loans.
Oh, it's a payday loan consolidation through payday?
Yep.
Oh, death. Why are you taking out payday loans, my dude? As you said, as you already admitted, you make enough to survive in your area.
So it was just a lot of the coping back in February this year, me and my wife separated. And so,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
no, it's fine. I think before that, everything was good. You know, we were making it. We had everything kind of budgeted out, and
Yeah.
we were doing good.
Well, that's probably a common thing, really, isn't it? You know, I suppose if you're in that situation, your marriage is falling apart, you know, money can become really tight really fast.
And most of this you'll see is just from like the last 6 months.
Was the separation expected?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably like played a big toll on you.
Very much.
Okay.
That's where a lot of, and there's a lot of mental health, a lot of that, issues with the job. So
Is this the right job for you?
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I've always been in law enforcement. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
It was just getting through that. I've had no issues before that happened. Afterwards, it was like I was trying to work through it. And I think working through it in this profession wasn't a good idea.
Within the separation, has a divorce officially happened?
No.
Okay. What are we expecting from the divorce financially?
Nothing.
Have you sought help?
Yes.
Mental health help?
Recently, yes.
Recently?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So-
well, better late than never.
Yeah, I've got therapies provided through the work. And then
Definitely should be for that job.
yeah. And then
I don't know. I feel sorry for this guy. Found himself in a really tough situation there. Marriage broken apart, taking up multiple payday loans, trying to pay them all back. It can't be easy. And then, of course, just sort of, you know, stuck with a mental health problem. Really do feel sorry for him. It's difficult, isn't it? You know, you've got problems with mental health, trying to manage the normal stresses and strains of life. It is pretty tough. I mean, like I say, I work in healthcare. I see people like this all the time. See a lot of patients with mental health problems, and I am sometimes surprised and shocked as to how well a lot of them can manage. You know, and sometimes they don't manage very well. But fair play to this guy. He is trying. He is really trying. So let's have a look at some of the comments here. Seems like a good dude overall. Hopefully things work out for him. I do too. I hope so. Payday loans are literally the worst type of loans. I mean, absolutely. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Oh, he seems so sweet and genuinely wants to change his financial life. I wish him well. Me too. Who wouldn't want to wish this guy well? He's seems like a good guy.
And I've said it before, and I will say it again. If you work at one of those payday loan places, that money that you get paid is fucking blood money. That shit is blood money. I swear to God. Don't. Anyways.
Yeah, short one there, but I mean, definitely worth putting that one in there, guys. I mean, she's right, isn't she? You know, she's right to be angry. But I guess a job is a job. You know, you've got to make a living somewhere, but I personally don't agree with working in a place like that. You know, you're supporting an organization that's just bringing down society. People are trying to live, you know, a normal life. You know, you provide short-term loans like that with ridiculously high interest rates. You're only going to make someone's life a lot more worse. Yeah, I agree with you there. So let's have a look at some of the comments here. So message us now to apply for a quick loan. I think people are just sort of trolling her. Not called loan sharks for no reason. Yeah, I bet. Anything that happens to you after taking a payday loan and not paying it back is on you. Yeah, I guess so. Definitely. They prey on desperate people who might not have any other choice. That is absolutely true. Do not wish a payday loan on anyone, guys.
Well, let's talk about payday loans and getting a mortgage. Lenders really do not like payday loans, so if you can, avoid them at all costs. But let's just say you have took one out. Obviously it can't be helped right now, and just say you didn't know this information. After after 12 months, lenders will then look at it. Just say you've had a payday loan, you've paid it off, and 12 months later you're looking to get a mortgage. That should be okay. There is lenders out there who will take that into account, but just make sure if you're looking to get a mortgage, please do not take out a payday loan within 12 months time.
Yeah, I don't know about that. If I was looking to get a mortgage, I probably wouldn't take out a payday loan altogether. And to be fair, I think maybe a lot of people don't even realize that. I mean, if you take out a payday loan, it's probably just going to show the bank that you're in a position where you can't really manage your finances very well. I mean, yeah, fair enough, you've probably had a really tough one-off situation, but I think it'll pretty much kill your chances of buying a home. You know, things like a payday loan will probably stay in your credit record for like 6 years. So yeah, it's probably best to avoid them altogether, I think. So let's look at some of the comments here then. So getting a loan for a deposit is a bad idea. Yeah, it's a bad idea. I think that's meant to be a joke. How does overdraft use affect a mortgage? I imagine it probably affects it in a bad way, but probably not as bad as a payday loan. And then we probably, oh look, we've got probably some donut here trying to advertise his lights put down. Are you in need of a payday loan or any kind of loan? Kindly send me a direct message right now to get started. Is he having a laugh? So let me be real with you guys. You know, this isn't just about numbers on a contract somewhere. It's about real people with real consequences, real life, real stress. It's about vulnerability, shame, and mental health, and most importantly, how the system profits from all of these things. So now it's tip time, and I'm going to give you a couple of tips that will help you get out of sticky situations like this. So point number 1, don't confuse a payday loan with a cash advance. They're not the same thing. Number 2, build a small emergency fund. Even if you've got £500 somewhere in the bank or under the mattress somewhere, that's going to help you out in those really sticky situations. Doesn't matter how much money you make. You could be in a 6-figure salary, more or less, but having a small sum of money is going to help you out. Point number 3, if you guys are in a really big crisis, borrow from a credit union or a community lender. They offer sensible interest rates. They're non-for-profit organizations, and they're the best way to go forward. And if you guys are already in debt, talk to charities. There's people like Citizens Advisory Bureau and Step Change. These are guys that will give you a helping hand, put you guys in the right direction. Point number 5, if you're looking to buy a house with a mortgage, just stay away from payday loans, full stop. So I hope you liked the video, guys. I hope it gave you something to think about. If it did, hit that like and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out. Don't forget to share your experiences in the comments below. You just never know, it might just help someone else out. I'm Mo. This is Revolux Talk. See you guys on the next one.